is. Faith is not a blind belief. It is the strength found in our shared community and the convictions that shape our nation.
Welcome to Faith in America, exploring political and patriotic themes for a stronger nation.
Today's topic, Guardians Abroad, the U.S. military presence in Europe through a biblical lens. Welcome back to the podcast. Today we're exploring a topic that sits at the intersection of global security, politics, and faith. The United States military presence in Europe. As of 2025, the U.S. maintains over 30 permanent bases and hundreds of smaller installations, with more than 65,000 active duty troops stationed under the command of the United States European Command. Headquartered in Stuttgart, Germany. But it isn't just about numbers or strategy. Today we're asking a deeper question. What does Scripture say about power, protection, and the role of nations in maintaining peace? The United States military footprint across Europe is both vast and strategic. In Germany, the U.S. maintains its largest presence with over 40 installations. Key sites include Ramstein Air Base, a central hub for air operations, and the U.S. Army Europe headquarters. In Italy, installations like the Aviano Air Base and Naval Air Station Sigonella play critical roles in Mediterranean operations. Over in the United Kingdom, air power is anchored at RAF Lakenheath and RAF Mildenhall. Additional strategic sites including Naval Station Rota, Greece, and Turkey. These bases support NATO, strengthening deterrence, ensuring rapid response capabilities across the region. Why does this matter to us today? The importance of this presence has grown significantly since the 2022 Russian invasion of Ukraine. In response, the U.S. and its NATO allies increased troop rotations and reinforced Eastern European defenses. This includes NATO's enhanced forward presence. Multinational battle groups positioned in frontline states to deter aggression. At its core, this military network exists for three primary reasons: deterrence, preventing conflict before it begins; defense, protecting allied nations; stability, maintaining order in a historically volatile region. Now let's take a biblical perspective on power and protection. The Bible doesn't speak directly about modern military alliances, but it speaks clearly about authority, justice, and peace. In Romans 13:4, we read that governing authority are God's servants, agents of wrath to bring punishment on the wrongdoer. This suggests that nations have a legitimate role in restraining evil. The presence of military forces can be seen as part of that responsibility to protect the innocent and uphold justice. The Scripture also gives us a warning. Psalm 27 says, "Some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord our God." In today's terms, we might say some trust in tanks, aircraft, and nuclear deterrence. But ultimately, the security does not come from military strength. There is a tension between strength and humility. The U.S. maintains not only conventional forces in Europe, but also tactical nuclear weapons in several countries. This raises a serious moral and spiritual tension. On one hand, military strength can preserve peace through deterrence. On the other hand, the destructive power of modern weapons demands humility and restraint. Jesus teaches us in Matthew 5:9, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God." So the question becomes, are these forces being used to promote peace or simply to project power? The answer matters, not just politically, but spiritually. There is a call to discernment and prayer. As believers, we're not called to blindly support or oppose military power. We are called to pray for our leaders. 1 Timothy 2:1-2. Seek peace. Jeremiah 29:7. Discern justice from injustice. The presence of U.S. forces in Europe can be viewed as a tool, one that can either serve righteousness or fall into misuse. And that depends on the hearts and decisions of those in authority. The United States military presence in Europe is one of the most significant global security arrangements in modern history. It stands as a shield against aggression, a symbol of alliance, and a reminder of the fragile nature of peace. But as we've seen today, Scripture calls us to look beyond strategy and strength. True security is not found in bases, alliances, or weapons, but in God. As the U.S. ponders getting out of NATO, we have a lot to think about. If you enjoyed today's episode, share it with someone who's interested in faith, global affairs, and the deep questions behind the headlines. Until next time, stay informed, stay grounded, and seek the truth.